Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Law Talk, a public service of the Southwest Louisiana Law Center and CBS Lake Charles. Our special guest on this edition of Law Talk is Calcasieu Parish Assessor Wendy Aguillard. Wendy, thanks for joining us on Law Talk.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
All right, so this edition's topic is the senior citizens or disability freeze. What does the freeze mean? What are we freezing, and what does it mean when we talk about freezes with respect to the assessor's office?
So on your homestead property, if you meet certain criteria, you can freeze the value of your property, not the taxes.
Okay.
The tax dollars can still adjust. However, you can freeze the value.
So this is on your home. It has to be your residence.
Correct. It has to be your homesteaded property.
What sort of criteria do y'all look at to determine what is your home or residence versus other property?
So it would be the property that you've signed for homestead on.
Okay, so where you live, where you literally live. You don't have to physically live there necessarily, but it's where your homestead exemption was granted.
Sure, and we're only allowed one homestead, so that should be where you live.
All right. So if we freeze it, what does that mean?
So if you meet the criteria, either 65 or older, or there's a disability freeze for anyone who is 50% or more disabled through I'm sorry, I messed that up. Through a service-connected disability, or who is 100% disabled through Social Security.
Okay, all right.
And so those people who would qualify also have a income limit. So if you make $100,000 or less and meet one of those criteria, then you can sign for the freeze.
Okay, and the freeze stops the assessment from going higher.
Correct.
As real estate naturally increases in value.
Correct.
Over the passage of time.
Exactly. It buffers you against those reassessments while you own your property and live there. Yes.
And it's a good thing because then your taxes should theoretically not increase.
Not a whole lot. What you'll normally see is if a taxing district can roll their millage forward because it doesn't freeze the actual tax dollars, you might see an adjustment. But if they pay off a bond or something, you'll see it go down. So it could adjust your taxes slightly, but most of the time not in a large increase.
All right, if you're 65 or older, or if you have a disability and meet the qualifications, take advantage of the assessor's freeze. You heard it right here from the assessor. Thanks for joining us, Wendy.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
This has been another edition of Law Talk, a public service of the Southwest Louisiana Law Center and CBS Lake Charles. Go to the QR code, send us your legal questions. We'd love to answer them on Law Talk. This has been another edition of Law Talk. Thanks for joining us, everybody.